We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. There's been reports all over the area of something crazy going on, something big. People's homes, their minds even, are being taken over by something called, what is it they're calling it? They're calling it Bad Movie Debate.
What up, nerds? It's me, Jacob Babb, for Bad Movie Debate, and we're here to do a little bit different of a debate today. It's Oscar season. The Oscars are coming up very soon. They're this upcoming Sunday, and well, there's 9 movies on there that I think are really good and worthy of a Best Picture nom, and then there's F1. So I have Antine here with me, and we're going to talk about F1. Was it good? Was it bad? Best Picture ? Like, is it a surprising nomination? Yes or no? Because I'm very surprised after just watching it with you. I will go ahead and say I liked it more than I thought I was going to. But is it Best Picture worthy? I don't know. I know how you feel about it.
So
lay it out.
My
lay it
feelings,
out.
as I've stated throughout watching the movie together, not for critics. This is not a movie for critics. This movie was made for women who want to see Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem, and all those other awesome people on screen duke it out. This movie is for F1 fans, and this movie is for people who like an action movie. Like, it's Top Gun director. This is a, like, okay, I just want to sit in my movie theater seat and go which I freaking love. Who doesn't love that? That's so fun.
That's fair. It's fair. So one of the things I was looking up before we started was, so it's been nominated for Best Picture, obviously. It's been Best Sound, which I think it could win Best Sound, and it might deserve Best Sound.
I think it deserves Best Sound.
It deserves Best Sound because it was really good, especially during the racing and stuff. So, like, I wouldn't be mad about that. Best achievement in visual effects. Where were they? I don't know. Like, honestly, they were really good. They were really subtle if they were, like, wherever they were.
Is
that's
that
fair.
only CGI, or is that, like, more than...
It's some practical. It's mostly CGI these days. But, like, I mean, whatever effects they're doing to make the movie, like visually and stuff. Yeah. So it did a good job. And then Oscar nominee for film editing, and the editing was very solid. So I'll give them that.
Note what's not in there. The writing.
The writing.
It's not nominated for its writing.
Best for original screenplay. Absolutely not. But what I wanted to look at too was, so that's all the Oscar ones. So Best Picture, and then editing and sound, all the, like, technical, like, let's say less flashy ones and stuff. Other awards that it's been nominated for, BAFTA, it won Best Sound at the BAFTA, the British ones. The AMPS award, it won Excellence in Sound. American Cinematique Tribute to the Crafts Awards winner for Sound. Critics' Choice Award winner, Sound. Gold Derby Film Award, Sound.
This checks out.
LEJA Award, Sound. MCFCA Award, Sound. So it only got nominated for sound
for the most
everywhere
awesome
else. Everywhere else.
Listen.
But the Oscars want to put this bitch up for Best Picture
and sound.
And sound, yes. Look, I'll give them the sound. They can have the damn sound.
Freaking sitting in that seat feeling like you're in an F1 car with all the room and the commentary and everything surrounding you.
Yes, I mean, I specifically said at one point during one of the early races, and they did stop doing it. I don't know why it was just the one race, but the one race they did at the first one, honestly, they did the first one because you probably just can imagine it, like, after, like, your brain just kind of fills in the blanks. But, like, it specifically had, like, whenever there was a commentator commentating, there was, like, my back speakers were doing a little, like, follow through, like a little follow up, as if you were, like, hearing the speaker. If you were in the arena and you were hearing the speakers further down, like, it was catching up and stuff like that. Like, they were doing, like, that effect, like, during the first race, which was really good and really cool. They stopped doing it after that one for whatever reason, but I think it's because, like, you notice it the first time, subconsciously you'll fill it in.
Also, I think
you know what I mean. So, like, which is good sound design.
I feel like as the movie went on, they also did less in-race commentary because in the first chunks of the movie, they were explaining in the commentary how racing was working.
Yeah, it was very. They were very much, like, for lack of a better way to say it, like, holding like non-racing fans' hands like during it, like because like I mean, me and Austin were sitting there like being like, what does that flag mean? And that's like specifically because it's a very big plot point, you know, like in that kind of stuff.
And a lot of that commentary explained a lot, like talking about. I feel like the commentary did a great job, and again, not praising the writing of this otherwise excellent film, but it did do a good job of explaining, you know, how teamwork can happen, like between two cars on a racing grid, and why that dynamic can be helpful. And tires, like they were explaining a lot about tires.
A lot of tire talk.
There was probably more. I feel like there was more tires than were probably actually relevant in the outcomes in this movie.
There was just a lot of tire talk, which like is fine, you know. Like I get that it's important too, because like soft versus hard tires because of the temperature, and like like I'm running like they're about to blow, like I'm about to I can't ride on these tires anymore because they just get burnt so fast and stuff. There's a lot of that, which is fine, and I know I'm sure it's an important part of the sport. But Jake, but
was it a bad movie? No, it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good. No, I'm not. Dare I say great movie?
I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie. I am not the biggest sports movie fan in the world. I like sports movies, but at the end of the day, they do all kind of follow the same formula. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? And like, doesn't just because it's a different sport doesn't mean it's that much more interesting for me personally. So it's like, yeah, you had an old guy and a young guy, and they hate each other because he's a hotshot rookie, he's old and experienced and stuff, and they fight, and then they make up, and then they win, and yeah, like yay, and it's fun and everything. But like, I've seen that movie a million times, whether it's baseball, it's football, it's soccer. Just because it's F1 doesn't make me care more, you know, about like that narrative. And it sure as fuck didn't need to be 2.5 hours.
Oh, come on.
It absolutely did not need to be because you could have kept the same amount of racing stuff and some of the like sideline stuff.
Okay.
I wrote down at one point, I was like, we're now on our 4th montage.
Okay,
there were so many montages.
I was okay with the montages. Honestly, you're right. What we needed less of in this movie was dialogue.
Yes.
There was, I will definitely.
Yes, there was dialogue scenes that went on too long, and they weren't really saying a whole lot to move the plot forward. It's like we could gotten through this dialogue in like 2 minutes instead of 8, like stuff like that. And like with the montages, it's like a montage shouldn't be a whole song, and there was I think 2 whole song montages in this movie. Yes, they were important for visually like when like it was nice when when spoilers obviously when Joshua like hurts his hands and he's like struggling to like do all his stuff, but then Sonny is out there like winning, getting closer and closer to one, and like that montage, and then he uses the tennis balls instead of the fancy machine and stuff. Like that's good visual storytelling. Yes. I just said all of that in about 15 seconds. You can say all that in about 15 seconds with whatever, like you can do all that. It was a whole song. Like that's too long for a montage, especially when you have at least four of them in a movie.
There were a lot.
You know what I mean?
But like I would have rather had those than the romance. I think we could have got the romance.
Yeah. The romance was
not necessary.
I will say the romance wasn't as in our faces as much as I thought it was going to be when it started. Because like it starts pretty early on, they tease it, and it's like, okay, here we go. Here's a romance out of nowhere. Or just to again, but hey, you said it was for the ladies, you know. And Austin specific, I was like, it's like we don't need a romance, and Austin was like, yes, we do. So see, and she was into that part.
Listen,
you know,
they opened up that movie. Oh, we didn't even talk about the way they opened that movie, Jake.
Oh my god,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back.
Well, they open it weak at first by giving the first line of the movie to whatever random blonde, like, dumbass girl was walking through the 24 hours of Daytona that couldn't act. But then they proceed to have him in one of the most exciting freaking NASCAR races.
Yeah.
And he's in the middle of the night racing around this track.
Yeah.
He's winning. He is battling it out. And they've got the fireworks going. And Jacob, you know, I already kind of I like racing sports. I really like racing
You go to the Indy 500 every chance you can.
The most patriotic thing I have ever seen in my life was being at one of the races attached to the Indy 500 and these cars going around the like prepping for the race, and as soon as they start racing, fireworks going over the top of it. Yeah, I have never felt more like committed to Uncle Sam in my life. Okay, and they led with that, and I was just like, all right, so done. I am here for it.
So do they, in actual NASCAR, do the fireworks get onto the track like that?
I hope not.
Because that was the thing. That was the thing where I was like, okay, we're this a whole movie about racing, and we're already doing something that I think would be a huge technical difficulty in an actual, because they're like flying around him and stuff while he's driving.
He's like, you got to dodge the fireworks.
I was like, that seems like not great. This is the Daytona. Like, that's one of the biggest ones. Like,
close. Like, because there's Daytona 500, and then there's 24 hours. So the 24-hour race, literally goes 24 hours, which is dope.
Insane. But again, I was just like, there's fireworks on the track right now.
There's like that. Not.
I also wrote down during that moment, I was like, it's kind of like, we kind of talked about it during the movie. Another part that like, it didn't bother me. It's one of those like, it's a long drink to water, but it's like, we talked about how Apple TV made this movie because they're the home of F1 now. So they made this movie so people will watch F1 actually on Apple TV and stuff. And they're like, this will get people to care about the sport, right? And an inherent part of racing, whether it's F1 or NASCAR or whatever, is advertisement all over the cars and stuff like that, all over their suits, all over everything and stuff. And in that first Daytona race, the 24-hour race and stuff, like, again, I know it's true to life, and that's just how that works, but it was like, there are 20 ads on the screen right now in this 10 seconds of this movie,
probably more,
if not more. like it was because the fireworks were going off onto the track, and there was a helicopter flying with a Shell Station logo on it. Why is the helicopter there right now? Like,
patriotism, man.
No, it wasn't
aerial
doing
shots.
Anything. Maybe I guess aerial shots, but like, you can get a drone to do that.
Nothing of the helicopter actually take off.
I was like, it was like a low shot. It was like a low shot of him like coming up and stuff, and like the helicopter like flew in around, and it was like Shell gas logo like and stuff, and then it cut again. And I was like, what do we do? Again, I know that's true to form for one of my favorite shirts that I'm not wearing right now. I wore it last episode, is my Joe Camel Racing shirt that I got sold from my dad. And like, so I get that that's just an inherent part of like how the sport operates and stuff, but it was just like, it's Apple TV. They're getting so much money by having all of these advertisements in here.
Oh yeah.
Which means they can lobby the Oscars to put them up for Best Picture nom, because they saved so much money by having hundreds of ads in this movie.
I'm not fighting you on that.
Hey, granted, very minimal Apple ads. We only saw an iPhone like once. We only saw like one iPhone, like maybe maybe like a computer here or there and stuff. Very minimal. Because it was covered by all the F1 sponsors.
I know, but it's
you know what I mean?
It's like the F1s. We talked about this a lot throughout the movie.
We did.
The F1 sponsors. The fact that all of these recognizable people from F1
was insane, because
the names, not even just like the fact that they got all of those people on screen is amazing to me.
Yeah.
But again, money talks. That's like that is that's a expensive.
Yeah. Again, I don't give a shit about F1, and you were like, Lewis Hamilton was a producer on this movie, and I was like, I even know who that is.
Yeah.
like I know that he is like the Tom Brady, the GOAT of F1 and stuff, and like. Some of the names, like, I recognized, I can't name one now, but they said them, and I was like, I've heard Vlad talk about them because he's a big F1 guy. Like, I've heard that name before.
I feel like, so one of the things that, I'm a big cycling fan as well. One of the things that cycling always talks about is how do we do what Drive to Survive did for F1, for our sport. It doesn't work. Drive to Survive did capture a ton of people, because now everyone like me who's seen a TV show about F1 knows what all those people look like. They know their names. They know they have a driver that they're pulling for, and then they take it so much further with this movie, because now all of a sudden, I feel like I'm in a race car.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair. Again, I don't think it's a bad movie, by any means, except, plot wise, dialogue wise, it was a little hit and miss. But like, it just like, I don't know, there was just parts of that, like, again, the ad thing, it's like, it is what it is. It's a part of the sport, so it has to be, it's involved with it, and that's fine. But it was just like, I don't know. I think my biggest thing with it really, truly is, it's like young hotshot rookie, like big or old dude who didn't quite make it, but is better than he'll ever be.
Mhm.
And the like what's the word? The like unwanted apprenticeship that like comes
Mhm.
through and stuff. It's like, I just seen that movie so many times. And like there was literally points where like I was like, and now we have this like with the
Cue
montage
this.
with the like and cue, he starts doing this, and he's taking them, like now Joshua's taking them on a run, the team on a run and stuff, like because Sonny's not there anymore apparently and stuff. Like, and like it's like, okay, and like the only saving grace I had for this movie, the only saving grace that I was like, this will make it best picture because like I'm in and stuff. Sonny dies.
We really thought that was gonna happen.
We were all like, you, me, and Austin, we were like, he's gonna go and he's gonna make a move so Joshua can win, so they can save the team, and he's gonna die because he was supposed to die 30 years ago doing this, and he would love nothing more than to die doing
and
this.
he's going blind, which we only found out about in the last 10 minutes of the film.
Okay, yeah, let's dive into that in terms of plot. In terms of like that, there was the reason this movie is 2.5 hours long is because there is so many things happening within the last hour. They introduced so many plot points.
Too many.
The first hour, I was like, we're following the same old formula, which I appreciate, and I can like, again, remember the Titans again. I said that to Austin. I was like, remember the Titans had this same exact message like 30 years ago and did it in half the time. It's because they didn't introduce all these extra plot points. They gave all the plot points at the beginning and then went back to them. This was like
this one was
too many. It was all over the place.
We had the evil board member also introduced at the end. Sonny going blind introduced at the end. We had like a weird romance that crops up in the middle and doesn't actually
happen. Yeah, like
We've
just a tease of a romance.
The arc of the team dynamic that you hate for some freaking reason. I think it was beautiful.
Hate it. I've just seen it a million times.
But tell me you didn't well up a little bit when they started working together at the end. Come on, tell me it doesn't actually tug your heartstrings just a little, one heartstring.
No, it always does.
And that's why it works, Jacob.
It always does in every sports movie and stuff. But like, again, my biggest argument is like, does it deserve to be a Best Picture nom? And it's like, no, because this movie's been made a million times over and stuff. Like, you know, like the last Shakespeare movie to be nominated was Shakespeare in Love, which won over Saving Private Ryan, which is insane.
A great movie. Sorry,
a fantastic movie.
Great movie.
It's a fantastic movie, but it beat Saving Private Ryan. And it's the only reason they beat Saving Private Ryan is because there was another big war movie that year that was also nominated. And I can't even remember which one it was. I can't even remember which one that was.
Are you sure it's not because that movie was also made for women?
Yes.
So maybe F1 is actually
F1 ain't gonna win this Oscar, dude. Ain't no way this movie would. This is the most Oscar noms I've seen before the actual thing, like before the actual like award ceremony and stuff. I've only need to see 3 more, maybe 4 more. I think 3 more. Yeah, 3 more, and ain't no fucking way this one's gonna win. Like, and
I think you're probably right.
Like,
I think you're probably right.
And if it does, I'm gonna lose it.
I'm gonna be pretty stoked if it does.
I'm gonna fully crash out, dude. Like, again, it absolutely gets sound design. I'm okay. I'm all on board for that. But like Best Picture, I'll lose my mind.
So I guess here's my argument then.
Okay.
If we're gonna think about it in that context, because I agree with you that from a true film standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe not the most amazing storytelling. It's maybe not the most amazing writing.
No.
But damn, that was a fun movie to watch. And if it does win, and we assume that all the sponsorship and money behind it is the reason that it won, then maybe that is just because the Academy is ready, like Shakespeare in Love. They are ready for just a really freaking good, just feel through it movie. Like, you don't have to, there's not critical thinking.
No.
There's not really parsing the dialogue. There's not worrying about the underlying messaging. There is really exciting sounds, super fun visuals that make you feel like you're there, and a plot point that everyone, I feel like, could fantasize themselves in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Including Brad Pitt.
Well, of course, Brad Pitt. I disagree to the extent that I would say, like, my sweetheart of the Oscars best, like, Sinners. There's not a lot of, it's pretty straightforward. I feel like it's like there's a lot of depth to it, but like what it's trying to say and what it's about is pretty surface level, just like F1 and stuff. The difference is there's a lot of depth underneath it and stuff. Like anybody could watch Sinners and be like, that's a good movie. And then you could rewatch it and go, holy shit, I didn't notice that, or holy shit, that's a completely different angle to look at this movie. Like, and I think this is a one watch, and you're like, I got everything I needed out of this.
I will be watching this movie again.
Yeah, because you need to show Nick, because Nick is going to love this movie too.
I hope Nick is going to. Actually, I am not sure that Nick is going to love this movie.
He might not like how long it is.
I will tell you that earlier this week, I turned on the F1 race.
Right.
And it was the Australian Grand Prix. And Nick came out into the living room and said, oh my God, what is with this shit? Who would want to watch this? And I said, well, actually, your loving wife, who put this on because I wanted to watch this shit. And I hope you realize that when this race is over, there's an IndyCar race that we're going to be watching immediately after it. So he might not love it, but you know what?
But again, I won't. I probably won't. I won't say. I'm not getting up because like we were scrolling. I was like, yeah, look, Apple TV, like F1, home F1, because the Japanese Grand Prix going on. China or Japanese Grand Prix going on. And it was like starts at 3 a.m. and stuff. I ain't watching that shit. I ain't watching replay.
Like I ain't watching live.
That's especially. I'm not gonna watch the replay of it either, though. Like I don't care. But I will watch this movie. I'll watch this movie about the journey of a team over a season. I'm not going to watch the season, though.
Watch this movie about beautiful development.
I'm saying Nick would watch this movie and be like, "Great, don't need to ever watch F1." Actually,
that's probably
that's how Nick would. That's how Nick will go about it.
I feel like the people who already are racing fans of any sort, and that is a huge part of this country, and
it's a huge part of the world.
That's
like absolutely, yeah,
and. Even the fact that they even captured a little bit of NASCAR in this is pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I feel like that alone is going to make the popularity of this.
Oh, insane. For sure. Well, that's the thing. I love NASCAR, and so like I don't watch it and stuff, but I have mad respect for NASCAR, especially my boy Dale Earnhardt, race hell, praise Dale, because he straight up said you can't. He was like, it's a very like right wing kind of sport and stuff, but he was like, I hate cops. This whole sport was based off of moonshining. Yeah, that's where this came from. You can't be a bootlicker and like this sport at the same time was his vibe. And I'm like, that guy rocks. Amen. Like, let's go. So like I have mad respect, and like racing is hard. So because like when we were watching, Austin was like, why is he exercising? Like the guy's yanking on his head. Because they're experiencing up to like four or 5 G's in a race and having to make split like moment decisions and stuff. I have mad respect for the sport. I just don't want to sit there and watch those cars go zoom. You know what I mean?
But like, tell me that watching
that's boring to watch.
Tell me that watching the car go zoom in a movie like that, where you feel like you're on board with it, that's even more exciting. And again,
that's why the sound design is amazing, because it's like when we do the like POV like shots of like driving the car and stuff, you feel like you're the one racing the car, which is amazing, and I respect that. But I don't care as much as I care about, like, you know, again, not even talking about like the best picture of it all, but like as much as I care about, like, as far as sports go, like I'd rather watch a football movie because I actually care about and understand football. Like when, like in this movie, when like the potential penalty came up and stuff, that was a big deal. I had no idea what they were looking at or what they were talking about, because I'm not a fan of the sport. Granted, who the knows what a penalty in the NFL is these days? Am I right, guys?
But to be fair, everything in this movie should have been a penalty, so they did a very poor job of doing anything related to explaining or clarifying how that would work, because almost everything that happened
was a penalty one way or another.
Yes.
Yeah. Their entire strategy was
all of the strategy.
So this whole movie is unrealistic and
and
not a daydream and stuff. I think vampires are more real than this than this.
Okay.
But
This
is supposed to be set in the real world.
If I'm thinking about what I want to watch again, and Sinners, Sinners was an amazing movie. It was an amazing movie. But because I am not a regular movie watcher, if I want to watch something again, I think I'm gonna want to go to Zoom Zoom again.
Yeah, no. If you're,
I'm gonna want to feel Top Gun on. This yeah.
But would I put that up for best picture that year that it came out? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't, because again, it all goes back to the plot and the writing and stuff. There were some horrendous lines in Top Gun Maverick. There was some
and this
awful shit, and in this one too. Like, we digress. Let's go back to let's see how many plot points got introduced in the second half of the movie. Like, we never went through all of those. We mentioned 2 and then got sidetracked. Okay, so the evil board member, the love interest really got going.
He's going blind and could die.
He's going blind and could die if he gets into any kind of a crash. He could just immediately just die. We have
teammate no longer trusts him
and stuff, which was inevitable, but it's still an added plot point. We have the mom.
We have teammate's mom
teammate's mom hating him because she thought it was his fault, which I liked how it was resolved. I liked how Joshua was like, no, I made that decision. He actually told me not to. Like, I'm glad that he came clean about that. Yeah. That was nice. That was good character development and stuff. Like one of the few moments of like good writing for like character writing in this movie. And I feel like there was another one.
There was the car is anonymously being
the car, which is tied in with the evil board member one, but it also stopped the plot and refocused everything. So like that's 6. That's 6 within the last hour.
That was a lot. I think
that's not too good. Much.
They were not good distractions.
No, they weren't, because I thought if I had to pick one. Like, I think you bring it all down and stuff. You can have the romance going because they teased it at the beginning and stuff. The one with Joshua coming to terms with his come to Jesus moment with his mom about what actually happened and stuff. Like, that's important for his character and stuff. The only one that's like completely out of left field, like plot twist kind of one is the evil board member started by the these documents show that you guys are like cheating or whatever. Like, you start with that and then we find out that he's an evil board member. Like, you keep those moments and stuff, but you can cut the rest of it. And I'm sure there's something we forgot because there was so much going on. We kept looking at each other being like, after scenes being like, oh my God, now something else is happening.
Like, again,
it was exhausting.
The vision loss did not need to be a part of this movie. It never came into play at any point except to make us nervous. And
make us nervous that he wasn't going to go in the final race, and Ruben, Javier Bardem's character, had to fire him.
Yep.
That was the only reason. Also, and then Joshua overhears it and feels bad and now accepts him as like a experienced guiding mentor. Yeah, and stuff. Which you can do a million other ways with what was already going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Too many plot points at the end, and a lot of them. I think you're right. Like, so much.
I do think Joshua's crash was crucial.
You know what's
crucial to this story, though?
Freaking awesome about that,
because that was about the halfway point.
Yes, and it really good character development.
Yeah, great scene.
So the two things about that crash that are cool. One, which I only recently learned about, was that actually happened in the era that they're talking about. So the era, like I think it's 90s, 2000s. I don't know history, right? I don't know race history, but Senna, one of the famous racers, literally did he like grabbed a fire extinguisher, jumped out of his car and grabbed a fire extinguisher to put someone's
help
to put a fire
someone.
out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's history that I vaguely know about. But in recent history, it's got to be within the last 5 or 10 years. There was a crazy fireball crash like that. Where you watch it and you're like, there is no way that this guy is
somebody
dead.
flew up in the air, it landed, and immediately...
And the car just goes completely up.
Michael Bay explosion.
It's really rare that happens.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Roman Grosjean or another driver who also has raced IndyCar, right? Mm-hmm. And you're convinced that this guy is dead.
Yeah, like there's no way.
And then he emerges from the flames like a phoenix, and his hands are the thing. Is like the most burned.
And again, when it comes to sports movies and stuff, I'd rather watch a documentary about that than watch a fake one. I'd rather watch a real, like it happened for real, not somebody get hurt necessarily, but like I'd rather watch the like the drama of it all in real sports and stuff, that's my big thing about like anti like sports movies and stuff.
You don't think the homages are kind of cool though? Because
no, they are. Well, see, I mean, I didn't know that and stuff, but like I knew the cameos. Like there was definitely like the names that they were saying and like the faces of people and stuff. I was recognizing. You were pointing out a lot too that I didn't know and stuff, and like that's cool and like that is cool and I respect that. But I just like, I don't know. I knew it was one of those things though that I knew he was going to be fine in that crash because one, the movie's only halfway over,
right?
And I was like, unless this is the moment that it becomes an Oscar movie and he dies,
like Top Gun, where the original Top Gun,
the original Top Gun, If it was like, and he dies right here halfway, the young rookie dies halfway through. We have a huge like plot development and stuff, and like it's a completely different movie now, or he's like comatose the entire time. I was like, okay, now I can see why it could be, but like it just did the standard fare stuff. But I also know that he was going to be fine because my dad, big NASCAR fan for back in the day at least, he the worse the car wreck was, the better off the driver usually was, and like really? And stuff like like historically, like I don't know if it's an official thing and stuff, but like he always said on his viewing, he was like, the car takes the damage instead of the person. When Dale Earnhardt died on the track, the car looked fine, so he took all the damage, and so he died from those injuries and stuff. So I've always remembered that. So like when he went flying in the air and it was 5 blocks and I was like, he's gonna be fine.
Like, he's fine.
I was like, he's gonna be fine. I was like, for the sake of a fictional movie though, it would be really sick if he was comatose at least the entire time, and then the journey became Brad Pitt, Sonny winning to keep him a job when he comes back next
redemption
year
or something,
and like redeems himself and stuff like that, and then he wouldn't have had to die. Since then it didn't work like that, he should have died.
That's
you know what I mean?
They couldn't make it too close to Top Gun.
Exactly.
They were going almost fast enough that people would have been confused, and they just couldn't.
That's true. There's a lot, again, the G-force of it all, and stuff.
The neck strength required.
The neck strength is just couldn't be me.
No,
couldn't be me.
You mentioned the awesome cameos in this movie.
Yes.
And I have to still shout out my favorite cameo that I can't believe this. But if the bulldog that was shown was not actually Roscoe, R.I.P. Roscoe, Lewis Hamilton's bulldog, then that was a very clear, like,
clear reference
to Roscoe, which I thought was awesome that they.
I mean, again, he's a producer on it, so like he probably was like, let's get my boy, let's get my boy in there for sure, which is awesome. Yeah, really there was tons of good cameos, and then who was the evil board member? You were like the one principal. You were like, he looks a lot like that guy. I
kept looking at that actor who I have seen in things before.
Yeah, again, he's in Outlander. He's in he might be somewhere in Game of Thrones because he's a very popular.
I think he was.
He's in Pirates of the Caribbean. I know he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Like he's in a bunch of stuff. Like,
and I looked at him and I was just like, he looks so familiar, and I don't think that's Toto Wolff, but it might be Toto Wolff, the actual team principal for Mercedes.
Yeah, which
and
is
it literally wasn't until that last scene where the real Toto Wolff comes on, and I was like, okay, that's not actually not him.
We know it's officially not him, and they're not throwing shade because this board member guy sucks.
Yeah, he
and
definitely sucks.
you're like, I mean, he reminds me a lot of that guy. And it's
this
like,
movie was very Mercedes.
oh yeah.
So I was
Austin straight up asked, was like, does that principal like does he suck or something? Are we like throwing like shade here? Are we subtweeting right now?
No.
Like,
they look like doppelgangers. It was crazy.
Until he opened his mouth and he started talking, and I was like, they're completely different people.
Oh my god!
Like, other than that, they looked very similar.
I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah, you showed us a picture like halfway through, like you were like, look at it, like yeah, that could be him.
For a second,
which is
I was
so
like,
funny.
Is he a really good actor?
Does he have a really good British accent?
There's no way he's that good. His
like,
freaking job and that could have been actor.
Yeah, no, that would have been insane. I'm glad they confirmed that. I feel like honestly, they probably didn't think about it. And they were just like organically were like, yeah, like let's have him like come say what up to Joshua or whoever at the very end and stuff. But like, thank God for the fans, because it would have been like that's kind of weird.
That was so funny.
Like, that's so weird. Yeah, it's almost a 1-for-1.
You know what? I did hear one other really cool thing about this movie before watching it, and that was when they were talking about how they wanted to make an F1 movie.
Yeah.
I think it was the Mercedes team that advised them. They had a lot of F1 advisors, I think.
Oh yeah, all the like technical stuff of this, like in terms of racing stuff, not as a novice, like someone who doesn't know, it looked real clean and it looked real good.
It was cool,
like
right?
It looked good.
But they told the director, do not, if you want people to really feel like they're racing, they are feeling like they're in F1.
They're like doing
Don't make a movie car into a race car. Make a race car into a movie car, and they did that, which is really cool. So
is mad respect for that. That's the way to do. Honestly, like, hey, filmmakers out there, Hollywood, that's the way to do it. Make something for a movie. Don't like, you know what I mean? Like, make something that already exists work in a movie instead of the other way around.
And this is how you get classics.
And shit usually works.
You just, oh my god, you just reminded me of the way that one of the most awesome other classics came from a similar thing. So because when they were making Bullet, when they were making the original Bullet,
the OG Bullet, which Steven Spielberg's trying to remake.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's trying to do a new one.
Watch that.
He's trying to. I believe it's Bullet, and I believe it's Steven Spielberg. God, I'm almost 90% positive.
But when they made that movie, the Mustang that they made for that movie, they tweaked the sound because of how whatever director that was wanted the car to sound a certain way.
Right.
And that sound that they tweaked for the car became what they used for the limited edition Bullet Mustang, which is my dream car.
Oh, okay.
In the OG Highland Green, there's like a limited edition of these cars, but they have I actually don't know the technical things. I'm assuming it's like something to do with the muffler and such.
Yeah.
But they have replicated the sound from what they adapted in the movie to make a limited edition car.
They took the car, made it work for the movie because they wanted a specific sound, and then Ford produced that to make it sound
to sell it
like that movie.
Yeah, because it's that freaking
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? It's
that's
so
awesome.
cool.
Life imitates art, bro.
Dude, seriously.
Like,
when
life
it works,
imitates
it
art,
works.
bro. Yeah, when it works, it works. That's really cool, actually. I don't think I've seen Bullet. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Steve McQueen, I think. But like,
Steve McQueen,
freaking OG, like an OG car chase type movie.
That's Steve McQueen.
I wonder if anyone that worked on this movie was watching that.
Oh yeah, maybe. And Steve McQueen car chase movies, like that's what it, like he died in a car crash, right? Am I crazy?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he died in a car crash.
Steve McQueen, I think it is.
I'm almost positive. I don't know. Somebody correct me, please.
We'll find out.
Please.
We're gonna Google this later.
Nah, we're not gonna live look it up. Okay, now another not contentious point, but another point to talk about this movie. So you and me watched it, obviously, and Austin was watching with us and stuff. We're big fans of Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
And this movie really felt like a much more serious Ted Lasso through and through. Like it felt like a very serious Ted Lasso. And because Austin nailed it, it was Brad Pitt's character Sonny was both Roy Kent and Ted Lasso. And Joshua was Jamie Tart.
Yep.
And then everybody else was just other people. And then like the board member was the owner of the team originally, which is like, oh, we thought you were gonna fail. That's why we hired you, like approved you to do this.
And then Javier Bardem is a hot odor lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like both of like he was hot owner lady like after she accepted that this was good and stuff, and board member was like when her original plan and stuff.
And
like
then, and then her husband once she turned good.
Exactly. Like they like combine characters and split characters, but it's Ted Lasso in a different sport.
And that just
oh, don't worry about it. That
just gives me more reason to love this movie.
I mean, your boy loves Ted Lasso. I'm talking all this shit about sports related things. I would argue that Ted Lasso is not about soccer. That is the vehicle to tell a beautiful, amazing life lesson moments and stuff. This movie was much more sports related and stuff with one central message. But it was so Ted Lasso. We even had the therapist from Ted Lasso
in the movie actually,
and stuff. Oh, as soon as she popped up, because I had seen her in the trailers and stuff, and I was like, oh, nice. Like she's in a big movie. Like that's awesome. Good for her and stuff. Like Point also was like, hey, you recognize her? And she was like, it was like Ted Lasso therapist, and she was like, yup. And you were like, yup. There she is.
Yep.
And I don't know. It didn't make me dislike the movie anymore and stuff. It just made the movie make a lot more sense.
Right.
Take that how you will. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know.
Team movie, man.
It's all exactly. It was all about team and like team, like and like
the bonding, the
teamwork makes the dream work and stuff. Like and like, I get it. But
they get me, man.
But I would rather rewatch Ted Lasso all 3 seasons than watch this movie again.
Oh, I love
again.
Ted
I think
Lasso.
It's a good movie. I think it's a good movie.
I love Ted Lasso, but you know what Ted Lasso does not have?
Racing.
Vroom vroom. Yeah. There's no vroom.
Vroom vroom. Sorry, excuse me. It doesn't have vroom vroom. Sorry.
Yeah, like that.
Which is valid.
Which adds.
Which is
valid. So much to this thing.
Which is valid. Which is valid. I just like. I don't know. There was just. It just didn't really. I cared about what was happening. I wanted everything to work out. I'm not a Hollywood writer. I thought the story should have ended differently. I thought,
in death.
Yes, in death. I think, especially if you're going to get a Best Picture nom, somebody got to die in some way. I think every other Best Picture nom I've seen, at least one person dies, which I'm not saying is a requirement. I'm just saying it sure helps.
I'm pretty sure you're saying it's a requirement.
It might be, honestly, because like I was thinking about Begonia, and I was like, oh no, there's a couple really crazy deaths in Begonia, and that movie rocks.
I mean, same with Sinners in One Battle after another.
Oh god, one battle after another. The deaths in that are like just like up to the level of like Sinners deaths stuff. Marty Supreme. Was there death in that one? Kinda.
Hamnet's all about death.
Hamnet, that's a whole God, that movie. Oh, I can't start talking about it. I can't start talking about it.
I feel like there's some movies that like they might be amazing movies. They might be that true Oscar quality, Best Picture winner, beautifully made and get you here. But because they get me here so hard, I can't watch them more than once.
And that's fair.
F1 got me here. And I'm going to watch it again.
But you're going to watch it again, which is fine, which is fair. I just like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm a big horror movie fan and stuff. And I'm not saying like, as far as like Best Picture noms, the fact that we have a horror movie, the most nominated movie of all time. Also, fun fact, the first time that the people who vote for the awards, the first time they were required to actually watch every single movie. That has not been a requirement before. This is the first year that they had to actually do that. And look what happens. Sinners gets 16 nominations, the most nominations in history. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that interesting? Because that means you could just not watch a movie and not vote for any of the nominations. Isn't that insane? Oh, when the news dropped that was a thing, like it was like a meme. Like it was like memed at that point. It was like, wait, what do you mean they weren't required to watch the movies? Like the Academy. That should be the bare minimum. And apparently that's just now the minimum. And now we have Sinners having the most nominations ever. And it's like, yeah, because it was that crazy. And it was that good, like when you actually watch them and compare them and stuff. Anyway, tangent over. There's a lot of other creators talking about it more and more in depth than me, so I don't know who they are, but go follow them. I've seen a lot of good stuff. But I'm just looking at I'm looking at a list of movies from last year, not mentioning the ones that are already nominated and stuff.
And I'm not a movie buff, so
and you're not a movie buff, and I'm a horror buff, so I'm gonna lean into one. Weapons. That movie was crazy and so well told, and you could watch it a million times and learn a new lesson or notice something else again and stuff. Best Picture nom? No, but over F1 because they just had to fill a 10th slot because they opened it from 8 to 10 a couple years ago. That might be a better choice.
F1 would be a better choice.
No, God, no.
You think Weapons would be?
Weapons was a crazy movie. Was a crazy good movie. Honestly, I'm gonna say a movie Austin and I just watched the other night because Austin really wanted to watch it. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't get to watch the one Eternity with Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen. It's an amazing movie. It's a Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen. They're old. They die. He dies. Miles Teller dies. And he goes to the afterlife. And it's basically a giant lobby where you have a week to pick your eternity and stuff, like religion notwithstanding. It's you can pick the Catholic heaven if you want it, or you can pick like Beach World, and you just go to the beach every day and stuff and you just pick that. And he's waiting for her to get there. She shows up. Her first husband, who died in the Korean War, has been waiting for 67 years. And it's a battle. It's they're trying to win her over to go with her and stuff. Who's she gonna pick and stuff. That movie was so good. It was so sincere. It was so sweet. It was funny. It would heartstrings and stuff. I would rewatch that movie right now. I will not rewatch F1. That would be a better Best Picture nom.
It would be a better Best Picture nom.
Yes, I loved that movie. I was so we watched it and I was like, this movie's awesome. It's a rom-com, a unique rom-com that talks about all of these different things. There's so much depth to it at the end of the day. And the way it ends is crazy in without spoiling it. It's so good. It was so good. There was just 28 years later, the sequel to 28 Days Later from 20 years ago, so long ago. So good. A coming of age story wrapped in a zombie apocalypse. He grew the kid who's the main character grew up in all he knew was the zombie apocalypse and stuff. And it's a coming of age story. He grows up. He has to learn hard truths about the world wrapped around this narrative. The zombies are there and they're cool and oh yeah, zombies and stuff. It's not scary. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it sounds horrifying though.
But it's not. There's a couple of oh my God, zombie. But it's just heartbreaking at the end of the day. It's so good. It's so deep. There's so much to it. That would be a better Best Picture nom. Again, horror movies, the fact that when they did Get Out, they listed it as a comedy.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Because they didn't want to put horror under there because the Academy hasn't taken horror seriously in terms of Best Picture and stuff. I think Sinners is listed as drama, which I would argue, yes, a drama makes sense for that, but it's a horror movie at the end of the day.
It's pretty horror-y.
But that's just a few. I'm not gonna say Superman was good, but I'm not gonna say Best Picture nom for that. Superman was awesome, but there's just so many good movies last year that I feel did so much in every other genre that weren't F1.
Any action movies that matched up though?
I mean, the last Mission Impossible movie was kind of a letdown, to be honest.
Oh, and I'm sure. I mean, compared to that, you can't beat that.
Yeah, but the stunts of it all, and you want to talk about some action? Yeah, there's some action in there. There's some action in there, but I just that's my biggest thing is there were so many movies with so much depth and so much pull your heartstrings. It'll do everything you ever need a movie to do, positive or negative or both. And you're gonna have this race car movie.
Oh.
You're gonna have this race car movie
So
that made me go, oh, they're working as a team. And that's it. They are, and that's nice, and that's fun, and that's fine. But like, and I know I sound like a pretentious snob right now, but like, come on. Like, come on.
Let's be real. We've got the film critics and actual true like Academy style reviewers
It's
on
one of
your
the
side.
F1 is one of the lowest rated Best Picture noms of all time. It's one of the lowest rated Best Picture noms of all time.
We've got the people like me who are probably the 30% of people upvoting that movie.
Sure.
Who don't always need the ups and downs and the wrenching, crazy ways of looking at the movie. Sometimes what you just want is a little action, a little Javier Bardem, a little vroom vroom, and some really exciting team building.
I just do you think that's one of the best movies you've seen that came out from last year? Do you think that's one of the best 2025 movies you've seen?
Yeah, I honestly do, Jake.
How many have you seen?
Let's see, of movies that came out?
Came out in 2025, the calendar year 2025.
The only ones that I am sure came out in that year were Sinners and One Battle After Another.
Right.
Both of which were excellent.
Right.
But I'm more likely to rewatch F1 because I'm a fan of.
Oh, I'm never going to watch One Battle After Another again.
Because I don't need to. I don't need my heart to be ripped out every time I rewatch something. Yeah. So I do agree that they were both amazing movies. And I know that watchability is probably not the criteria for the Academy.
No, apparently not. Yeah, because they didn't have to watch them.
Yeah, well, definitely not.
Didn't even matter. But continue.
Those are the only ones that I know came out last year that I watched.
Well, what's another recent movie that you've seen then? Because I'm just like, I just can't.
Let's see. I'm not much of a movie watcher. You know what I do? I'll go back and I'll watch all the old James Bond movies.
I mean, that's valid and that's fair. But like, I just like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like because I know Nick watches more movies.
Nick definitely watches more movies than I do, which is probably
he talks to me about them.
That's the kind that I like to watch, and Nick is more on your vein.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. But like, also, like, I know Nick likes like the Oceans movies, and this had like an Oceans movie vibe to it.
It did.
Like,
well, probably.
I mean, Brad Pitt, yeah.
Brad Pitt Brad Pitt was actually in the Oceans movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Brad Pitt was in this movie in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I mean,
also
maybe
I literally have a savings account because we were hoping to go to this final year of the Vegas Grand Prix before they never have it there again.
Yeah, you said it was pretty rough.
I think it might have been the first year, but they had like a ton of issues with the road and manhole covers flying up and people's like bottoms of people's cars
just like, absolutely
bottoming out and flying.
Decimated.
Yeah. But damn, that must be so cool. Can you imagine seeing cars going 200 miles an hour down the Vegas Strip?
No, I mean, I would, if I had, cared before, like, about it, like, I would have definitely gone, I'd go now.
Do you care more now?
Yeah, I guess, but like, I'm not going to Europe just to go.
But would you go to it? Say, would you go if we are for the draft next year in a location close enough to Nashville? We have you guys have your Cassandra draft during the weekend of the Nashville Grand Prix usually for IndyCar.
Okay.
IndyCar.
Okay.
Would you go to the IndyCar race?
Yeah, I've never been to a NASCAR race, and I want to go. I want to go to every sporting event. Like, that's one of like my bucket list things is I want to go see every sport live. Like, I would love to do that.
It would be awesome.
No, yeah, I'm not saying I would like you guys go. You and Julia go to the Indy all the time and stuff. And like, past few years, Austin and I have been like wanting to go. It's just the end of her work year, like her school year, so it like usually doesn't work out and stuff. But like, I want to go to a race. I'm not saying I don't.
We'll go
by any means.
This movie, I feel like, it's designed to make people want to watch racing more.
Exactly.
Sure. And
it's an advertisement for Apple TV.
It's an advertisement for F1, for Mercedes, for Pinarello, for everything that you see on that screen. It is an advertisement.
Exactly. And that's frustrating to me as a wannabe film critic, That's like, this movie is basically just one gigantic ad. It's basically one long commercial. And we're going to put it up for one of the best movies that came out last year. For realsies. When we have movies that are talking about so many other real things, you know?
There's some good,
like,
great movies that came out, but there gotta be some movies for the people like me.
Which is fine, but they shouldn't be up for Best Picture of the Year.
Not just one of them?
10. Do you know how there's, let's see, in a calendar year, there are, I couldn't give you an exact number. I'm not even going to try. Dozens of movies that come out. Whether they're indie, whether they're straight to streaming, whether they're whatever, you know, and they can only be in like, let's cut, and then we have to cut a bunch because you can only be considered for an Oscar if you have I think it's a month in theaters. This is the only time you can be considered for an Oscar and stuff as part of their requirements and stuff. So let's cut that down to, let's say, 30 or 40 movies that could potentially get an Oscar, no matter what it is, no matter what category it is and stuff. There's no way that F1 is doing half the shit that some of those movies were doing.
You mean in theaters and stuff?
Oh, I'm not talking about making money. I'm talking about the story that they're telling and the importance of this, like, again, I'm a pretentious snob, the art of it and stuff. This is supposed to be the pinnacle because America is all about, our biggest export is entertainment. You're saying last year, these are the best 10 pieces of entertainment we had this past year? Absolutely the not.
But Jacob, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained by that movie? By that action?
I didn't hate watching it, but I had a lot more fun in theaters watching a lot of other things. And watching stuff at home. Again, Eternity that Austin and I watched on a whim the other night. I was like, this movie is amazing. I love this movie. I cherish this movie. It was so nice. It was so fun to watch with my partner. Like, it was so good and stuff. This movie, I could watch by myself. I could watch with a group of people, half-ass pay attention. And I'm like, oh yeah, like they won. Cool. There's so many other movies that came out last year that I gave so much more of a shit about and stuff. 28 years later, I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like one of the best zombie movies ever made, forever ago, independent, big, wide, crazy release for this, like 28 years, like so much later in time, like continuing the narrative after all these years and stuff. Walking there, I was like, this is going to be sick as hell. It's going to be deep, but like, it's not going to be too crazy. I cried. Because of what happens in that movie, because of the loss, grief, and coming of age of that story. F1 could never do that to me. It tugged at my heartstrings. I think it tugged at my heartstrings too, but like, again, it wasn't a nice taut. You know what I mean? It was a very loose tug.
It is. I think it is great that the Academy has included this range of tearjerkers to just adrenaline rushes, and I feel like you're right. I don't think it's probably not gonna have the artistic acclaim of some of these other movies.
Sure,
but I think it deserved to be up there for a lot of reasons.
I'll put it at like, if I'm gonna put a number on it, I mean, I'll put it like somewhere between 15 and 20. The best movies that came out last year. I put it between 15 and 20.
Damn.
Which is, for me, very high for a sports movie and stuff. But also, I feel like we didn't get a lot of sports movies last year. But like, I'd put it up there pretty high. Relative for me.
And I guess for me,
top 10 is
since I'm not a regular movie watcher, especially not new movies coming out.
Oh yeah, I try as much as I can.
So I'm excited that something came out that I'm like, I know I'm going to watch it again.
Right. Honestly, like, here's a new thought. Here's a thought that just entered my brain. They put it up because they needed to fill the 10th slot and they wanted to get more like not consistent movie watchers to care about the Oscars so they get that money.
There you go. You know, I'll be watching now.
It's all an ad. It's all an ad, and we figured it out, and it's all an ad.
It worked.
And it worked because you're like, oh, I care about what's going on at the Oscars now because I want them to win.
It worked.
Yeah. Oh, capitalism.
Sold.
Capitalism.
Don't forget to go get your whatever their sponsor was credit card.
Oh no. Get your Apple card. You can get an Apple card these days. God, 20 years ago, could you imagine Apple has a credit card?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Your iPod 1 and you have your Apple credit card. Ugh, who could have thunk it?
As a Google truther, unfortunately
You never had an iPod?
I had an iPod.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like,
But
I know you're not
days,
you're not iPhone,
yeah.
but I was like, you had to have an iPod.
Oh, I did. Classic.
Yeah,
classic.
that was the best way to listen to music.
I've had an iPhone.
Yeah,
I might have to
hated
get
it.
Apple TV just to rewatch this movie.
Yeah, you can't use my login.
That's
Actually, I will give you my login if you and Nick watch Severance, the show.
Deal.
It is arguably the best. It's you like Twin Peaks. I know you do. I was asking as if I was going to pretend like I don't know. You love Twin Peaks.
Duh.
Do you want to watch an office setting Twin Peaks
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
where everything is super weird and you're like, what the f- is even happening every single second?
All right, I'm in.
Cool.
I'm in.
You should watch that.
I feel like if you're comparing it that way, then I probably would like it.
Oh yeah, no. I can do a shouts out. My coworker Katie, her husband Dave, he did a Twin Peaks podcast back in the day, like a little while ago. They're not doing it anymore, but they did it. Guy who loved it, guy who had seen it once or like twice and like was into it, guy who had never seen it. They were successful enough to be able to take a trip to go to the Northern to like record an episode there and stuff.
That's awesome.
And everything. They now have a Severance podcast where they have had Ben Stiller, the co-creator, the creator of the show, on their podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
And stuff. It's called Severance Peaks. Talk all about it. Go listen to it.
Severance
It's so good. Yeah, because it was inspired by Twin Peaks. They were like, we love this show because it's Twin Peaks coded as
nice.
and stuff. They have Milchek, the actor who plays Milchek, on there. I can't ever remember his name. They have a bunch of different actors on their podcast. Go check that out. You absolutely have to watch that show. You will love that show.
Done. You sold me.
So I'll give you my Apple TV login for that. All right. Well, I don't think we're gonna agree that it's a good movie.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the movie more than I thought I would. I still don't think it deserves that 10th slot.
I think the 10th. I think it deserves the 10th slot. Does it deserve the first spot? Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, if this movie somehow wins, I'm gonna break my iPhone.
Okay.
I'm gonna break if this movie wins Best Picture, I will break my iPhone. You can quote me on that. Yeah. Like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way it wins Best Picture.
I think it wins for Best Sound. It should win.
It absolutely should win for Best Sound.
That was freaking awesome.
I will be very mad if
awesome.
it doesn't.
The acting, great. The acting, they did a really good job. This really shitty writing.
Real quick. I don't know if there was any noms for acting for this movie.
Because like they're probably not nearly as good as the acting that was in movies like Hamnet and One Battle After Another.
If Jessie Buckley doesn't win for Hamnet, I'm gonna lose it.
But I guess my point is more that the acting was not the problem in this movie.
No, it was not.
The music was good. The sound was good. The cinematography was freaking awesome. The effects were really good.
No, it was good. It was a well-made movie. Apple has all the money in the world to do whatever they want and stuff, and they did it, and they took the time to do it right. And I'm not going to argue with that. And it was a well-made movie. Script could have used, a rework and stuff, or less of a rework. Honestly, it might have been too much rework.
Maybe needed to cut a few things.
They could have cut some stuff out for sure and stuff. They may have overthought it. Honestly, I think that's what it is. I think they overthought the script on this one. It's a good movie, and I'll give you that. Best Picture nom? Nah. If it wins, I'll break my iPhone, and you can rub it in my face forever, I
If
guess.
it wins, then we're gonna do what they do and spray champagne everywhere.
Deal.
That's how we'll break your heart.
But then we have to have a couple bottles to drink.
Deal.
With it. All
Deal.
right. Deal. All right. Well, what do you think? Follow on social media. God, I'm always so bad at this part. Bad Movie Debate, Bad Movie Debate Pod, for the handle. Follow me on YouTube. If you want to see us yapping at each other and everything instead of just listen. And yeah, that's about it. Appreciate you coming on and watching this movie, making me watch this movie, because this was the one that I was the least excited to watch for.
Well,
the Oscars,
I appreciate
honest.
that you were down to watch it together, because that was fun, and I love it. I'm happy that we had this experience of team building.
Right. Great.